Hi folks, today we tackle an old classic with a twist. Could a speed die make the game of Monopoly a little better? We'll find out today. If you are interested in the classic version of Monopoly and what we rank it, you're just going to have to click that button right there. Click that button, it'll take you to the last review that I did, which was on the original classic Monopoly. Also, if you don't know the rules of the original Monopoly, because you've never played Monopoly, I'm not going to talk about that here because it's right there in that last video. So take a look at that first before we get to the advanced rules. Alright, everyone else, we're going to talk about the speed die and what it adds to the game of Monopoly and the features that are included in this updated game of Monopoly. Really, there are two updates with this game. There is the speed die, which is obvious, and you get a token, this little kitty, meow, which is great if my sister's playing because she loves cats. But that's about it. Do you guys like cats? I stick with the car because the car is the easiest one to move around, and you guys can't play with the car. That's my baby. The gameplay is exactly the same as playing the original classic version of Monopoly with a few minute details. In the original game of Monopoly, you started the game with $1,500. In this version, you would start the game with $2,500. Cha-ching! Making you really rich right from the gate. Then the game begins normally. You start out like you would any other type of Monopoly with the two white dice. You roll those white dice and you go around the board collecting properties and buying houses and hotels, same as every other time. The difference starts only after you've crossed go the first time. Once you cross go, you pick up the speed die and you start rolling it in conjunction with the other two white dice. If you roll the speed die and it lands on one of the numbers, 1, 2, or 3, then you just add that amount to the amount that you've rolled with the white dice, and that's how many spaces you go. If you land on the school bus on the speed die, then that would mean that you've got a couple of different options. You can go 9 spaces, which is what this says right here, or you can go 4 spaces or 5 spaces. You can take your pick of the die and go that amount with the school bus. And that actually helps you to strategize the game a little bit better and to place your guy in a spot where he'll be safe away from other people's properties. The last option on the speed die is both a blessing and a hindrance. You see, when you begin the game, you want to land on the Monopoly guy because of what he does. But at the end of the game, you don't. It all depends on if all the properties are purchased or not. If all the properties are not purchased and you roll with the Monopoly guy, then you go whatever space the white die told you to go first and do what you need to do there. And if you're still able to play after that, like you haven't gone to jail and you haven't become bankrupt, then you would go to the nearest unowned property if you're going forward, and you can purchase it or you can auction it right then and there. The bad thing comes up if all the properties are already taken. You roll the Monopoly guy, you have to go to the nearest owned property by an opponent and pay them double the penalty. Awesome. And you remember what happens when you roll doubles in the classic? Well, the same rule applies here, except if you happen to roll triples. Now if you roll triples, you will have the option of picking any space on the board and going directly there. Now it must be stated that doubles only counts when it is with the two white die. When the red and the white die match, it doesn't mean anything unless all of them are the same. If the two whites match, it's a double. And yeah, so now you're ready to play. Don't touch my car. Pros and cons. Well, the pros are still the pieces that you play with. They're still highly durable, still well made, and real fun to play with. The speed die does make the gameplay much faster, which has improved my enjoyment of this. You'll still have to play the game for at least an hour or 2, but it's not an all-nighter anymore. And I love the Monopoly guy on this speed die. He makes the game 10 times more interesting. And the last pro in this game is that it comes with a money rack, which is really cool at keeping all your money organized. They didn't have this in the original classic games. You got it now. Cons! There's still problems with the paper-thin money. You can still get it wet, you can still rip it, tear it. If anyone does do a rage quit in this game, that money's gone. You will never find it. People still hang out in the jail. That's still a con. People are still cheating in this game. Please stop. And the money rack is terrible. I know I said that in a pro because it's a good idea to have a money rack, but the money doesn't stay still. It moves, it fluctuates, it falls. It's a piece of plastic. After analyzing this game, we have come to the conclusion that Monopoly with the speed die is a comfy cruise. It still holds up as well as the original game. There are some things that make it better, but the game is still a trading, spending, classic game. So it holds up well. The speed die makes it go a lot smoother, a lot quicker, and it's more enjoyable. Thanks for watching, and check out our other reviews. Hey, I'm glad I caught you guys. Look, Monopoly has got a lot of versions of the game of Monopoly. They've even come out with Nintendo classics like Zelda or Mario, so you can play it with any type of variation that you like. Please leave a comment below telling me what your favorite type of Monopoly is and why it's your favorite. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you later, gamers. Bye.